Well, we're going to kick things off with something that is super dear to my heart. March is Women's History Month, and all over Denver, people are celebrating those who have made a difference and those that are currently making one. Well, let's get out to Danny, who is live from Dairy Block, where they are also celebrating incredible women. Danny, this is fantastic. What's happening out there?
It is so fantastic, Claudia. You're right. That's exactly what's happening here. Is we are celebrating women here in Colorado, and we're talking art, and that's all happening here at Dairy Block with the Women in Their Infinite Form art exhibit. And that is why I am joined today with producer and founder of the Athena Project, Angela Astle. Angela, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Dairy Block is popping today already. Look at that.
It's a great space, for
It
sure.
definitely is. My goodness, it's so great. Okay, so how is Dairy Block celebrating Women's History Month?
Yeah, so we've been doing this exhibit called Women in Their Infinite Forms for the entire month of March. So it is March 1st through 31st, and these pieces are found in and around Denver Milk Market and Dairy Block. And it's all inspired by the theme Women in Their Infinite Forms.
Definitely, and it's so cool because these pieces are kind of precariously placed all over, so you have to kind of search for them, which is really cool, but they're very beautiful and really just so artistic, so well done. Tell us about the Athena Project too. How many artists are featured in this year's exhibit? What's happening? How is it all combined?
Yeah, so Athena Project is Colorado's nonprofit that empowers women through the arts. And one of the ways that we do that is we find opportunities to partner with businesses or nonprofits to be able to showcase and uplift women's work. So there are 10 artists featured in this particular show. We were able to curate these artists, so we had them submit their ideas based on the theme Women in Their Infinite Form, and then we were excited to be able to select these 10 artists for display in and around the Dairy Block.
Yeah, and these are some of the pieces you guys have been seeing there, and we're going to show you some of these pieces here live. These are ones here that are on the exhibit. I have to say, Angela, this is so cool because obviously we have a couple pieces here. They both have mirrors. Is that a theme? Is that something we can see?
You got that right, Danny.
Amazing. That's so cool.
Each year we've picked up a different base for the artists to work with. So the first year we did this was full-size mannequins.
Okay.
We went to tabletop mannequin heads. That was the second year. And then this year we decided as the tabletop mirror as the base for the work.
I love that because it's like, hey, you look at this art and you're seeing yourself back, a little bit of reflection. I really like that here. Okay, so is the work for sale and how can people come see it? All of that fun stuff.
Absolutely. So the work is for sale. All of the proceeds go back to Athena Project and supporting our mission to empower women through the arts in celebration of Women's History Month. You can visit our website, athenaprojectarts.org, and you'll find all of the pieces available there.
Amazing. Well, I have to ask you too, are there any special events coming up that we need to look forward to?
Yes, thank you
Good.
for asking.
Yes.
We have one more tonight. We've been celebrating all month, so it's been a busy month at Athena Project.
Yes.
We did an art strut reception, which was for the artists to celebrate at the beginning of the month on International Women's Day. But tomorrow we're doing an event called Artful Reflections, which is a free event designed to connect artists with each other and with members of the community who really want to come talk about the work. They want to talk about how the work makes them feel, what the backstory is of the artist. This is the event to come learn all about the details of the pieces.
Incredible. Well, Angela, I have to ask you too, because we're talking about incredible women. We're talking about March. Obviously, you are one of them, being part of the Athena Project. What is your story? How did you get connected with the Athena Project?
Thank you. Well, I'm actually the founder, so this is like my third baby, I would like to say.
I love that. Yes.
I was inspired by some studies out of New York that women in the theater community are underrepresented. I spent some time there, and when I moved back to Colorado to start a family, Athena Project was part of that family that was born. We were looking for opportunities to uplift women artists, and as I learned, it's actually women artists in all different disciplines are needing that uplifting and that shout out for women's equity. And so it's volunteer run primarily. We continue to do different things like this that engage with the community and connect with the community, and our whole goal is to make sure that women's voices are seen and heard.
Amazing. So how can, whether it's an artist or just somebody watching at home that feels impelled to get involved or give back, how can people do that with Athena Project?
The easiest way is to do it through our website. We've got a contact form on there. Of course, social media is Athena Project Arts, and you can connect with us on any one of those channels. I'll make sure you hear back from somebody because our goal is to connect with people, because people are what make the organization run, and people are what's going to change the world and uplifting women artists.
Definitely. Couldn't agree more. Well, Angela, thank you so much for your time and for the work you've been doing. This is so incredible. And guys, you have to come here to Dairy Block and check out these incredible pieces here. And don't go anywhere because we're going to get to speak to one of these amazing artists. I promise you, you're going to want to hear from her. Claudia, I'll send it back to you. Welcome back, everybody. Well, March is the month to celebrate incredible women in our history and incredible women here in Colorado. And that's why we are at Dairy Block today. We are looking at the Women in Their Infinite Form art show that is taking place here at Dairy Block. And today we are talking to artist Elsa Bauer about her amazing piece. Elsa, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Your piece is so unique and so beautiful. I'm so excited to talk to you about it. But before we do that, can you tell me what made you want to be an artist? What made you get into art?
It's something that I feel like I've never really had a choice about. It's just something that I've always done. My parents are both artists. Mm-hmm. My dad was a professor at a university in town, so I would just end up going there. He worked in the music building, so I had access to all of the art facilities all the time. So I think it was just something that came naturally, and lucky enough for me, it's been a trajectory in my life, and I haven't had that, oh, what am I going to be? What am I going to do? It's just always kind of been something that has come naturally to me. So.
That is so awesome, and it's so obvious to see how meaningful and how intentional your art is, just even in this piece here, which is so cool. What does art mean to you? I know that there's, that's kind of a broad question, but for every artist, it seems like it really has played such a big role. So what has it played for you?
My professional background is actually in graphic design, and I think that has really shifted the way that I create and the way that I look at art, because it is largely just based on communication and telling people's stories.
Yes. Amazing. Okay, I love that so much. So let's tell your story here. Can you tell us about this piece? Because there's a lot of reflection of yourself in it, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, as a graphic designer, I do tell a lot of stories and talk a lot about other people's identities. So when the Athena Project gave us all mirrors, I was like, oh, this is a great opportunity for me to have some self-reflection and to talk about my own identity for once.
Yes.
And so this piece is a self-portrait that is made out of stained glass, and the way that it's attached to the mirror, you can still fully see your own reflection in the mirror. And what I wanted to spark was sort of the idea that the way that you look at somebody can really shape the way that somebody ends up telling the story about themselves.
Yes. I really like that. I really like that. And I think what's so amazing about this piece, again, is looking at you and your reflection, but then also being able to see yourself within this piece, which I think just makes it so different and so unique. What does it mean to you to have this piece on display here at Dairy Block, but not just at Dairy Block, for this particular exhibit?
Yeah, so there's actually a lot that was really exciting for me. I am biracial, so a lot of this piece is about, kind of not knowing my space in culture and kind of always being in between somewhere.
Sure.
When people look at me, they don't always know that I'm half Chinese. So when I tell them, they're usually pretty surprised, and they have a reaction of like, oh, well, I knew there was something different, or, I would never have guessed that by looking at you. And so having the chance to start that conversation and have that out in the open to relate to people who share that same experience with me or don't, I think is really exciting. And then this area specifically is where the Denver Chinatown used to be, which I also only recently learned about. So I was lucky enough to do a project with the Art Students League of Denver about the Chinatown last year.
Amazing.
And it's just very exciting to learn that it was here, because most people don't know that, and then to have a piece that is in the location of where the riots were and where all of the important things happened, and have that understanding of, the Asian experience in Colorado.
Absolutely. Well, Elsa, I think this is so absolutely incredible, and I cannot wait for people to come and see your piece here and see what else you do in your future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Of course, of course. Well, guys, you have to come check out all of these incredible pieces here at Dairy Block. Again, you can check out the Women in Their Infinite Form art show here at Dairy Block and Milk Market now through the 31st. You can learn more at dairyblock.com.